Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Incubator booth at NeoHeart. This is a more relaxed encounter. We have a few of our colleagues, teammates on the mic. The camera's right there. We're live on YouTube as well.
Oh, we are?
Yeah.
Oh, this is live? Are you serious?
Not live, but live.
Okay, now I need to be poised.
We have Professor Gabriel Altit from Montreal, who is the co-host of the French edition of the Incubator.
Bonjour Ben, comment ça va?
And we have Dr. Carolina Michel from Mexico, who is the co-host of the Spanish edition of the Incubator. Carolina.
Hello, Ben and Daphna.
Yeah.
Hola, ¿cómo estás?
Hola, ¿ça va? ¿Ça va bien?
So fun. We should do this like once a month, I think.
We should have I've thought of doing like a public Zoom call for the Incubator team. Just like we all get on it.
That would be really cool. Really be cool.
It's one more meeting a month.
No. It's not a meeting. We shouldn't have any agenda. We should be like, what's up? So let's start with you, Carolina. What's new for you at NeoHeart?
So it's really amazing to see again Gabriel and people I knew and from McGill, but also all these personages from all the world that write the state-of-the-art articles, that we apply in our clinical practice.
They're all here.
So yeah, everyone is here, even like Dr. Pauline, yeah. So
Dr.
a lot of
is the one who gets the least amount of credit. It's literally down the street. But there are other people who made it.
He just walked here in the building. He's like, "Hi, I'm here."
But he gave a very important talk.
Don't tell him I said that.
Of neonatology.
I know. Don't tell him I said that.
I won't.
No, I'm going to echo it also, Carolina. It's so impressive to see all the names of the neonatal cardiovascular sciences and hemodynamics, just in one, one group talking to each other, sharing experience and learning from wisdom,
sure.
Dr. Poland. That's really impressive.
And I understand there are 120 speakers. That's what they told me is the final count.
Yeah.
Very, very big.
Yeah, it's an impressive group. And like we said, they're all here. And by the way, for people who don't know, Carolina trained with Gabriel in Montreal. So that's where the connection, just for people wondering. But it's anything you're particularly looking forward to at NeoHeart this year, Carolina?
Well, I didn't want to say the PDA controversy, but yeah, I do. So, yeah, of course. And also BPD and PH.
Yeah,
so
that's a big topic.
Yeah.
Gabriel, you are conducting a bunch of stuff. You're doing workshops and you're giving a lecture. Tell us a little bit about what you're going to be presenting at NeoHeart this year.
So yesterday was the workshops for point-of-care ultrasound as well as targeted neonatal echo. Actually, Lauren, who is just here on the chair, participated also to the point-of-care ultrasound. So that was really, really fun. Very fun to interact with everyone coming, super motivated, interested to learn. So that's really fun to see. I'm giving a talk tomorrow in the pulmonary hypertension session and the atypical pulmonary hypertension session. And so my topic is on basically acute pulmonary hypertension in the context of prematurity. We know how controversial it could be to use INO in some of these babies. And so we're going to try to deconstruct a bit all, this physiology and try to understand where maybe INO sits or where maybe some of the other strategies to support these babies. That's what I'm going to try to do in 15 minutes.
Well, don't gatekeep. What's the consensus then?
Well, I do think that it's important, every time we manage a patient at bedside, to remain physiological with what we know and trying to understand and get a better sense of the underlying phenotype of the patient, put together all the story, and then really target the management. I think at that point where we don't have great data on trials to tell us, well, this, and there's, I don't think one size fits all the babies. And that's the particularity of the challenge of trying to enroll some of these patients in trials is that they don't necessarily all fit the same box. And that was brought out actually in the year in review, which was great, is that one of the papers showed that it's becoming more and more difficult to recruit in these trials because I think a lot of clinicians are faced with the dilemma that they might not even think that the patient is fitting whatever box this trial is trying to address. And hopefully, my presentation is trying to bring the message that many babies might fit what we would think about acute PH, and yet they really don't have the same clinical presentation. Do they have a duct, not a duct? Is it closing, not closing? Is it an LV dysfunction, an RV dysfunction? And they may all have some degree of high PVR, but how do you address each of these babies might be a bit slightly different depending on how you're able to tailor, you know, kind of the phenotype.
Which is interesting because that means, practically speaking, that this blanket approach of saying, well, if you're a preemie and you have a bit of clinical suspected pulmonary hypertension, let's put everybody on nitric, is not the solution. It's not the option that people should follow, and maybe try to aim for a more targeted approach and then aim for that. Because I think, unfortunately, thankfully we're moving away from these, like, should we just try this on every baby and see what happens? Like that's never great.
Yeah, I think that's the one thing everybody in the room is gonna agree. Like physiology-based treatments now, it's what we are all trying to do, and not you can debate us like this for PDA or no, but that's,
She said,
you know, basing,
he hasn't reacted, which is kind of interesting.
you know, you know, just look at physiology is the thing that like unite us. You know?
Yeah.
Well, it's interesting because the breakout sessions is entitled "The Complex Neonate with Pulmonary Hypertension," but I would counter that all of the babies with pulmonary hypertension are a little bit complex.
I think the precision medicine, right? I think NeoHeart really is about this. It's about trying to like bring everyone together from all these different fields, talk together, and then see how can we, I guess, push the boundaries, do some work at bedside together, and do some research together, and try to like kind of decipher more these kinds of things into like really applicable research or applicable care to the babies that we give.
Yeah, and I think that what's interesting is that it shows us that we are not, there's not a single person that has all the answers. That's what NeoHeart tells you, is that we all have a portion of the answer, and it's about like coming together and like getting to the truth together. And I think that's kind of, that's really the crux of it. And that's what, I mean, that's why we like this conference. Okay. Anything you're looking for aside from your own talks, Gabriel?
Well, actually, I just want to shout out to the year in review that just happened, because that was really, really spectacular, because we had like different speakers actually outlining completely different literatures. And yet they're all like telling similar messages or bringing like a compliment to the story. And I think they really did a great job. It almost felt like an Incubator podcast, but like accelerated, you know, like boom, 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 boom.
I have a feeling you're going to be named for one of these talks next year or in 3 years, whenever the next NeoHeart is.
I did it at the previous NeoHeart. So this guy's crazy. We're not bringing him back.
Too much for now in the time allotted.
Yeah.
That's
I mean,
awesome.
yeah, Gabriel will fit 12 months of research in 15 minutes.
Before we log off, I want to give you the opportunity to plug the NeoCardio Lab in case somebody hasn't heard about it yet.
So NeoCardio Lab is a website as well as a free application on both Android and the Apple iOS store. So it's www.neocardiolab.com, and it has available resources in neonatal hemodynamics, targeted neonatal echo, point of care ultrasound. There's clips, there's case presentations, and now we have also a section about case submission. So if you are out there listening and you would like to share your cases, anonymized obviously, so that we can, you know, have all the benefit of learning from the experience and from the expertise of others, we would be more than happy to push it on the website so that it's showcased. Thank you for that.
Yeah, I love it.
We're going to plug a few more things if that's okay. So number one, if you are a non-English language speaker, then check out Carolina's podcast.
You're a Spanish speaker.
Go ahead.
If you're a Spanish speaker.
If you're a Spanish speaker, yeah, for sure.
Or you want to practice Spanish.
That's true. If you're a Spanish-speaking person interested in neonatal care, check out Carolina's podcast. And then if you're French-speaking, then check Gabriel and I. We our podcast with Floria Ziggy on the French channel. We're also going to plug the Delphi conference, because I think if people are saying, "Oh man, I wish I was there for that POCUS workshop," we're gonna follow the inspiration of NeoHeart, and we'll have a POCUS workshop led by Dr. Ross and Dr. Altit at Delphi this year. And there's other workshops we have, so check out the website as well. and we'll have more of this POCUS focused teachings at Delphi this year.
Should be fun.
It should be fun.
And it's in Florida.
And it's in Florida.
A beautiful.
I'm kind of happy to be in New York as well. I'm not gonna lie. New York in the summer is good.
It's a fun place to
Thank you both for dropping by, and have a good rest of the conference.
Thank you.
Thank you.